Hey fam, welcome to Driven Life TV. Welcome to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So today I have an interesting conversation that I want to make with you. I'm going to be reacting to a video about a young man who is actually talking about maybe an impasse that he has reached with his fiancée regarding the wedding that they need to have. And so I want us to listen to how Dave Ramsey and also his daughter, how they analyze the situation and also want to relate it to a Malawian setting and also bring maybe a Christian perspective to this. And I hope this will be very helpful for those people who are looking to get married and at the same time those people who are already navigating this side of their relationship. So let's dive into it.
Anthony's going to start us off in Los Angeles. Hi, Anthony. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you doing, Mr. Ramsey?
Great, man. What's up?
Respectful
So
young
my
man.
fiance and I recently got engaged last August, and we've been fighting about the cost of it. I told her that I wanted to pay off my debt first before we went and tried to pay off a big wedding, and I just paid off my debt this month. And with the wedding that she wants, I can't afford it with it only being 6 months away. And I've been telling her that I don't feel
What is the
comfortable
price
going
tag?
16,000. The price tag is 20,000, but she paid 4,000, so there's 16 left.
What do you make?
About 30, 40 a year.
Okay. What does she make?
About the same, sir. We're both in the military.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your question.
And that's basically. So I was telling her that I don't feel comfortable going back in debt. But I asked her to move it back. She said, if the wedding doesn't happen when it's scheduled, just like that, there's kind of no reason for us to continue. And I don't know if this is something I should hold my ground on, or as a man, if I should make this happen for her.
So, first off, you can actually see just how these situations, how crucial they can be, because most of the times you find that your fiance has had a dream wedding in their head since they were young. Okay. They've been fantasizing about this very day, and then they have a picture of what they want. And as a man, all you're thinking about is let's get this done with and then let's start our new lives together. And from this young man's perspective, you can actually see that he wanted to prioritize being debt free than just rushing into the wedding or be rushing into marriage. So he wanted to make sure that he starts his marriage journey without debt. Okay. But now, six months away, and there's $16,000 left for them to pay off, maybe to make this wedding a possibility. And you can actually see the thinking, because most of the times females would just want to have a good wedding, a beautiful wedding, something that they can remember. Sometimes even to just make sure that they're competing with their mates. Maybe they want to exceed what their mates actually experienced. And so she's not really considering the fact that it may not be very feasible for them to actually do it within 6 months. But understandably so, it could be that maybe they had dated for a long time. And so she was like, I think it's really high time we actually tied the knot. But now looking at 6 months to get $16,000 when they both make about $40,000 a year, that that may not be possible for them to pay off. So she's suggesting that they actually get a loan to do a wedding, which is something that I do not recommend whatsoever. It's never a good idea. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. So you have to find a way to make it practical for the both of you. Otherwise, you end up making decisions that you regret later. And so if it's not possible in 6 months, you need to make sure that you put a date that will actually be practical for the both of you. And so I don't know why they agreed to that particular date that will leave them 6 months for preparation, especially knowing the fact that he had debt to pay, a debt to pay. So this is really interesting. Let us continue looking at this.
Well, the surface problem is that she's choosing a wedding over you, which is
Right.
like,
What's your
And yeah, sorry, I keep pausing this. And the other thing that you see as a red flag here is that this lady is actually giving him an ultimatum to say it's either me, or maybe doing the wedding the way I want it to be done, or maybe when I want it to be done. This is literally putting two things that should not be in the same gauge together, meaning it's either you or my wedding. That really shows something that is very much a red flag in this partner that he is with, okay? Nobody gives such ultimatums, especially if they value what you have and who you are. Understandably, it's understandable that she's actually maybe upset, stressed, she's tired, maybe she just wants to make sure this thing happens. But at the end of the day, one of the things you must avoid in your relationship is giving ultimatums to say, if you don't do this, I will do this. If you don't meet me this way, I will do this. That's an ultimatum. Those are threats, and it's never a good thing. That is not healthy at all. So let's continue.
Kind of involved in the wedding,
That's a
so this is
little-
kind of oxymoronic.
It's a little crazy. But then there's deeper stuff. I mean, I would think though, Anthony, there's other stuff going on, right? I mean, is it that I mean, do you
There's
have
more
a
to this
pattern
story,
of
for
not
sure.
doing what you say, and she feels like that this is part of it? I mean, like, is there other stuff, or is it really that simple that she's like, if I can't have this wedding at this date with $20,000, I'm done? Like, was it really that cut and dry, or have you guys been
We've been fighting since we got engaged.
fighting
'cause the
about
wedding
what?
was
About what specifically?
for me, it's the cost of it. She says that I'm being greedy, and this is something that people, pay for. And I've just been telling her I just don't feel comfortable going in debt. There's other ways around it. I've said if we can push it back.
This is the problem that you can actually say. She's not looking at their practical situation. She wants to meet a dream. She says that other people are able to do it at this price. Okay, so why can't we? I'm like, look at your situations. So if you want such a wedding, make sure you make it practical. Start make contributing towards it maybe very early. And if 6 months is not possible, then push it forward to a date that will be feasible for you. Other than going into debt just to make sure that you actually have what you want when you want it. Because at the end of the day, if you cannot afford it, you can't afford it. That's what I'm saying. Like, this doesn't. People sometimes do things to please other people. They're doing it out of competition. They're doing it to exceed what another person did. It's never the right motivation for doing things. You must make sure that it's practical for you. Because if it is not, then don't do it. Okay? But let's hear some more here.
Which we've already pushed it back. It was originally supposed to be happening next month, but due to our finances from coming back overseas, we pushed it.
Oh, that's so frustrating. I'm like, go get married. You guys have been engaged for a year. Go get a marriage certificate. You guys go to the courthouse, go get married, and then in
don't.
6 months. Well, yeah, I guess that's probably true. I guess this would have been like, this is what I would want for you though, if it was in a healthy state. That's fair. That's fair. Is to go do that, and then you can go do a reception another time. But there's
So you can actually see that maybe she was tired from the engagement. They had been engaged for a year, and maybe it was high time for them to get married. So that I don't want to extend it again. I get that feeling, especially when you set a date and then saying we should extend it again. That feeling when you're going towards the wedding. I think it's one of those things where you just want to just cross the line. I think you just want to get over with it. Get it over with to make sure that you start your lives together. Um, so I understand. Maybe that's why she doesn't want to extend it anymore. She wants to just do something radical to make sure the wedding happens. But I would really advise that they really looked at things practically. Maybe the wedding in the US, a $20,000 wedding is not really that expensive. But with their practical situation, I think it's not really feasible. So it's really important for them to look at it. And I think it's just one of those, I think, things that should actually start a conversation, especially looking at the terrain in Malawi. Nowadays, people, especially celebrities, are gaining the spotlight with regards to their weddings. And what you're saying is some of the most extravagant budgets in Malawi right now. And you're like, this is interesting. I think the one which got famous maybe a year or so ago, of the people who spent about 20 something million kwacha just on a wedding, and then it didn't even take 2 years they had already divorced. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, what was the point? What is this for? So, like, my advice to you right now is, number one, look at the practical aspects of your finances to say, can you really afford this thing? Number two, make sure you're getting ready for marriage as much as you're doing for the wedding, especially even more than you're doing for the wedding. Make sure you're ready for the aftermath. And number three, value the wedding. Okay, it's a good day, it's an important day. Make sure you don't trivialize it, but always remember you have to be practical with it. Is it really something you can afford? If you can't afford it, do something within your means. It's really important. Of course, it shouldn't be something too cheap. You want it to be memorable. Just make sure it's something that you can actually manage to pay for. Avoid debt at all costs. You know? So, yeah, that's what I wanted us to react to. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What worked for you? What are you looking forward to? Or maybe what are your fears concerning the wedding day? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a good one.